Now, brothers, tonight I'd like to discuss a subject that I do feel it's something that benefits everyone. When I was using some of this material recently, I just started off by saying that not only does Satan, the devil, not like us, he hates us. You know that, don't you? And he hates Jesus Christ even more than he hates anyone else in the universe. He really is opposed. But do you know something? If he was to attack God's people in his hatred, all he would do was unite us. You know that, don't you? He would bring us together. But what he's doing right now, he's trying his level best to divide us. He's trying to create situations where individuals get sadly, adversely affected, sometimes by the conduct of even other brothers and sisters, some who possibly ought to know better. And for that reason, I want to just read you a little account from the Bible. This is not what we're going to be discussing tonight as far as the Bible is concerned. Just let me read you this. This person got so depressed, so low, that this is how he began his words. He said to Jehovah in prayer, "How long, O Jehovah, must I cry for help, and you just do not hear? How long shall I call to you for aid, and you do not save? Why is it that you make me see what is hurtful, and you keep looking upon mere trouble? Why are despoiling, violence in front of me? Why does quarreling occur, strife carried out? Your law grows none. Justice never goes forth." Now, would you call this man a faithful character in the Bible? Would you think, well, I'm glad I'm not in with him? Because actually, Jehovah God not only gave him the answer, Jehovah arranged for us to have it recorded under his name, Habakkuk. So he felt low and depressed because of things that were going on around him. And when I looked under the heading that this was taken from, this particular scripture, it mentioned that others felt the same way. Job on an occasion, Jeremiah. And you know, even David used the phrase, he said, "Jehovah, why do you hide from me in a time of distress?" Now we know that Jehovah doesn't hide. We know that Jehovah is a just God. We just studied that for 2 weeks. But you know, when you're going through a difficulty, when there seems to be an injustice, it's almost as if you're left alone, and you can be so depressed, and depression is a dreadful thing to cope with. I don't understand depression, because you've got to have had it or having it to know what it's like. I was talking to a brother last week from one of the Glasgow circuits that suffered with it for 5 years, and the assembly was the first day he'd been to a meeting for 5 years. Before that, he was a faithful elder, service overseer in the congregation. Cracked like that 5 years ago, and just now is beginning to heal. He said, "I'll tell you what it's like, David, to cope with depression, to cope with a difficulty." Because I was finding it difficult. So I said, "Well, I know, and I realize that, you know, you feel in the depths of despair, you want to take your life, you want to do this." He said, "Rather than going through what I've gone through, I'd rather have my legs amputated, my arms amputated, and I would prefer that than to go through what I've just gone through." Now, I can't understand that, can you? But that helps you to understand, or not understand, how low even some of God's servants have actually got. Now, we're going to talk about a character who got low, but tonight we're going to lift you with it. It really will. I know it does for me each time I read about this character. He may not be famous, but there are psalms written after him. I'll tell you who.